Okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Sequoia Lending. We welcome everybody. We see there's people all over the country. We see people from California, in Texas, in New York, in New Jersey, all over the place. We welcome you. And if this is the first time that you're on our platform, Sequoia is actually a commercial lending platform helping small businesses to find the funding that they need. We start out as a commercial lending company, but however, as we speak, we are transitioning ourselves into a business solution company. So not only that we provide funding for small businesses, whether they purchasing commercial property or they need funding as working capital, equipment loans, so on and so forth. We also can provide services such as cost segregation, tax appeal, wellness programs, so on and so forth, to help small businesses to grow. So again, if you are new to our platform, please ask your sponsor to show you their website so that you can see our product and services. And also on top of that, Sequoia is not just a regular commercial lending company. We are actually a financial coach for a federal government program called Capital Readiness Program. And let me show you the screen. And if you do a Google search, okay, if you do a Google search on MBDA, stands for Minority Business Development Agency. This is a government agency. This is a federal government agency. So again, if you go to their website, you do a search on MBDA, you do a search on CRP Capital Readiness Program. That is one of the initiatives that the government initiated in 2023, I believe, to help small businesses to get ready for funding. And we are actually one of the financial coach. So underneath of MBDA, there is an organization called National ACE, stands for National Asian and Asian and Pacific Islander Chamber of Commerce for Entrepreneurs. This organization mainly representing minority and also mainly representing Asians in the United States, and they representing over 2 million Asian-owned small businesses in the country, and they are one of the biggest nonprofit organization that promoting the capital readiness program. So if they go to their website, you search on program, you search on capital readiness program, you come to this page, and if you go scroll down, you look for meet our coaches. So you see Alan Wool right here, Sequoia. I am the face of Sequoia. That is actually of a financial coach. So again, utilize all these resources that you have when you go out there to talk to your agents, talk to the clients, talk to your community. Let them know that hey, we are doing a lot of things to the community. Our goal is to help small businesses to find the funding that they need. So that is what Sequoia platform is all about. We welcome everybody to join our platform. There's no licensing needed on our platform, believe it or not, and we can do business all across 50 states. Okay? So with that intro, so let's talk about tonight. So well, before I talk,
上网啊。
if you don't mind, please mute yourself. Okay. Let's talk about tonight. Sorry, before we talk about tonight, I also have other announcement also. So one of the biggest announcement that we have from now until the end of 2024, we have 2024 to remember. So we are promoting if you submit 1 to 4 unit investment property, 1 to 4 unit investment property, and closed in 2025. You submit one by the end of the year, you close in 2025, as long as the project is over $200,000. The loan amount is $200,000. You still get your commission, and on top of it, you will get a bonus of extra $1,000. Okay, so that is one of the promotion that we have, and a lot of you guys are excited about our wellness program. Okay, so the wellness program. So the wellness program, if you go to our product page, now in 2024, this is one of the main program that we will promote because we are one of the few company in the country right now promoting this program. It's a wellness program, no cost to the employee, no cost to the employer, and basically the government picking up the tab. We can provide benefits such as life insurance, health insurance, dental, vision, hospital care, short-term disability, so on and so forth. There are already many companies are signed up to this program already, but we realize the magnitude of this, and as we speak, our wellness program coach, Mr. Bobby Lee, he is the one is heading this program right now. As we speak, we are building an AI system or an AI robot in the back. So in the future, very soon, I would think that by December, no later than by the end of the year, you will get access to this robot, meaning that when you go out there to talk to your clients, you do not even need to explain what this program is. All you have to do just to give them a number, they call in this number, and they can ask the robot any question that they have regarding to the wellness program. This robot speaks English, speaks Spanish, speaks Chinese, speaks Vietnamese, speaks Korean, speaks Japanese, whatever language that you want him to speak. This robot can speak, and again, it can answer a lot of your questions. And they gave us a demo today, and it's amazing that the the time to enroll one employee versus the time to enroll 1,000 employee is the same amount of time. It takes about 3 to 5 minutes to enroll everybody in. So again, that is going to be a huge um, a progress for this particular program. And once everything's ready, Bobby is going to make the announcement and he's going to do the training for you. And as I mentioned, Bobby is actually the president for a New York Life branch here in the Washington D.C. area. So he loved this program. He knows the Obamacare very well. So when he looked at this program, and this is the program that attract him on board. So this is what the Sequoia platform is all about. If you look at our platform, we have so many different products and services, and somehow, somewhat, it can attract some people onto our platform. Okay, so that is that. Now, the next thing that we are working on, which is George, the main presenter tonight, is going to be talk about working on is the certification class. And we also, a lot of agents asking us, hey, how can you get to 23% commissions to 46% commission? And one of the things that we want you to do is to learn about the basic of commercial lending. Now, this is not a licensing class, but it's what we call certification class, meaning that we want you to possess some basic information. So as we speak, George and the marketing team is working on the certification class. There's a lot of material. I looked at it. He come out with over 10 hours of materials. And I told George, I say, well, we don't need 10 hours, okay? Shrink that 10 hours into 2 or 3 hours. That's the maximum that we need. So as we speak, George is working on that, okay? So again, that's all the announcement that I have. So what are we going to talk about today? So today, I asked George to come online to share with us marketing, what work and what doesn't work. Now, a lot of people asking us, how do you find client? Where do you find client? There's a lot of technique out there for you to find your own client. A lot of people saying, hey, can I do advertisements? Should I do newspaper? Should I do radio? Should I do this? Should I do that? I mean, again, you can do all these. But for me, personally, I never do any advertisements. I never actually look for clients per se. It's because the the nature of our business. We're in commercial lending. This is one of the closest door industry in the country right now. What does it mean by closed door industry? Meaning that people have no idea what we do. Yes, you hear the term commercial lending. I got it. But what does commercial lending do? Where can I find these commercial lending agents? You cannot find them. Am I correct saying that if you do not believe me, turn on the newspaper, turn on any of it advertisement platform, newspaper, Facebook, YouTube, I don't care what it is. You will see so many people saying, hey, I'm a loan officer, I'm an insurance agent, I'm a contractor, I'm a roofer, I can install solar panel, whatever that might be. There's a lot of advertisement, but the one thing that you do not see is us. You don't see any people out there saying that, hey, I'm a commercial loan consultant. I can give you $5 million to build a retail. I can give you $10 million to purchase an office building. You never see people like this. So that tells me one thing. If on the advertisement I don't see anybody that does advertisement out there, it's telling me that advertisement it probably does not work in this industry. So where do we find our business? I start to look for where the client is. Who knows all these clients? Professionals, real estate agents, loan officers, insurance agents, CPAs. I have been telling all over and over and over and over again. If you go out there to look for just the client itself, you might have a hard time. You don't know where they are. But do you know where the real estate agents are? Absolutely. I bet every one of you know real estate agents. Do you know where the insurance agents are, loan officers are, CPAs are? They're all over the place. All you have to do is just pick up the phone and connect with them and let them know that, hey, this is what I do. Can we partner up to do business? So again, that's what I have been doing. That's what works for me, right? But however, there are some people that just love to talk to clients. That is not my expertise. I'm not good at it. But some people are very good at it. For example, like George. Do you know that George himself is a lender? He lends money. So I work with him. I know George for a long time. As a matter of fact, he's one of our lender when I start the Sequoia. But then when I start the platform, I start talking to George and tell him what our vision is, what we can do, so on and so forth. Now, so George has become one of our advisor. So tonight, I'm going to ask George to share with you regarding to marketing, what work and what doesn't work. So George, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Alan. I appreciate it. Um, I had a PowerPoint presentation that we're going to go through. This is personal, as Alan mentioned. Marketing is something that you have to test and try out for yourself and see what works and what doesn't. Not everyone is good at every piece of marketing. Some people are great talking. Some people are great writing. Some people know how to promote online. Some know how to do it, via um, marketing pieces through mailing or whatever. So it's really important for you to test and to understand what works for you. And so tonight I'm going to go over my top seven as far as when I was lending money and still lending money, as far as what works, what doesn't work. Of course, things have changed over the years. Everything is more online and more. I guess you have to be more tech savvy, but I think the concepts and the spirit of it still stays the same. I want to make this a little bit interactive, so a little bit later, I'm going to ask one of our more active agents, Lou, to get to to share some of his success tips with all of us, and also I'd like to hear from everyone on the line what actually works for you, so that we all can share and learn a little bit about every what works for everybody, and what everyone has found as far as testing new marketing techniques. Um, as far as number one, I've always found that solving problems, not selling, always works. Selling sometimes feels like you're mechanical. When marketing to me is more effective when we're able to actually spell out a problem and solve it. In this space in particular, because we deal with a lot of business owners, and typically they're always looking for money to grow their business, for equipment, to a lot of different things. And so basically, the need for capital is really, really important. And what it is here is make yourself the source for the solution. As Alan mentioned earlier, we're a solutions-oriented business. And so I always put myself in my client's shoes. When I first started lending, I was a rehabber at first. So I started off real estate and rehabbing. I would try to call these hard money lenders. A lot of guys wouldn't pick up my call. A lot of guys would be slow in responding. Some wouldn't respond at all. I actually got the closing table a few times, and the closing didn't happen. So I compiled a list of things that I saw were problems. And when I went to market, when I became a direct lender on the hard money side, I began to market according to that. My marketing was focused on solving problems, and then I knew that rehabbers encountered. So that will always help you when you become someone who solves problems and put that in your advertising as far as how you solve their problems. That's always going to help you. Well, going on to number two, I found that make it personal. What I mean by that is a lot of marketing you see out there is generic in the sense that, people get these terms like we can do this, we can do that. It's not real personal. I feel that, for people to do business with you, they have to like you, they have to know you and have to trust you. And that's something that you develop initially by creating marketing pieces that actually talk about you. I think when I was doing the email blast, I would talk about certain things about myself, my expertise, my opinion of how things are going in the market. People like to hear from you. People want to know that who they're dealing with is a real person, number one. And number two, that there's something there, a personality or something that they can connect with. I always thought that, it's, you can talk about your favorite sports team. You could talk about how the market is looking and how the market is shifting, interest rates, whatever the case is. It doesn't have to be too specific, too technical, but you can talk about your favorite, hobbies, or if you were in the military, or you went to school, or if you grew up in a certain area, all that stuff makes you human. And I think that brings it down to where people want to connect with you and people want to do business with you. Again, that's very important. People have to like you to do business with you. That's what I found. And I think this is best accomplished through email blasts, through newsletters, blogs, social media, Facebook, all these things now that allow us to actually put our thoughts out there, and again, make us more human to that consumer. That makes that connection, and people definitely want to do business with you if they trust you and they believe you. Number three, I always found that testing marketing pieces, testing marketing techniques was always key. I mean, before investing too much time and money into any type of marketing, you want to make sure that you have proof of concept, which means that something is working. You yourself have to identify your benchmark for success, right? So, for example, how many phone calls do you want to get from this marketing piece? How many applications? How many leads? How many deals closed? How many website visits? You have to set your own goals. You have to measure to see what's working. Remember, marketing is about getting people to respond. Once they respond, hey, at that point, you have to make that conversion. You have to actually sell and make sure they actually either buy your product or your service. But what we're talking about here is seeing what works for you and keeping track. Figure out a way to keep track of that so that if you want to invest more time and money into that, you can, but you have to figure out exactly how it's working. I remember this was years ago. We actually, Alan was talking about the newspapers earlier, but we actually tried newspaper advertising many years ago, and it just failed. Got no calls, got no leads, got no deals closed, and after a few weeks, we just gave it up. Right. In contrast to that, we did a marketing piece that was a mailing piece, direct mailing piece, which I thought wasn't going to do well, and it actually generated a lot of leads for us and a lot of deals. And so that's something that again we were able to see. It was slow at first, but we kept doing it and actually were able to actually succeed. So again, this is the things you have to test, test, test. So before you invest money into a lot of these things, make sure that there's a way for you to measure that so that you can continue to put money and time into it if it does work or yield results. Number four for me was always repeat, 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 which is almost going back to the test, test, test part. I mean, once I found what generated some kind of buzz or some kind of response, I was able to actually pour more money and time into it and become consistent. On average, it takes about 6 to 8 touches before you generate a viable sales lead. So consistency is key. I always found that people all also tend to trust you if they see you've been advertising for a while. I've seen companies around that were advertising for years, and I say, wow, they're still around, so they must be doing something right. Otherwise, it gone under, right? And I've also, had people call me as well from email pieces that I put out years ago. Believe it or not, people save it. People save those marketing pieces, whether it's email, whether it's a direct mail, however, Facebook post, whatever. People refer to those things. I actually had people contact me years later, and I look at, for example, email message I sent out in the email blast, and it's like, wow, that person kept that email. They kept my information and actually contacted me years later, and that was after repeated, mail blasts, which was we would promote like an email blast at least once or twice a week. So again, after about maybe a dozen messages, in this case, maybe hundreds, they reached out. So I think it established you as the business, and it lets people know that you're still in business, that you're doing something right. So again, consistency in this case is key, especially in marketing, because that's very important that you actually continue to do something. Don't be one and done. Don't try something one time and quit. Give it a shot. See what's working. And again, go back to what I said earlier. Test it. Make sure that there's a way for you to test it, and only you can determine that. Like figure out exactly what is successful. So again, you can figure out, hey, do I want to continue investing in this particular marketing technique or not? But again, consistency is key. Once you do find something that works or somewhat works, you want to invest more time into it, and that is consistency. So you repeat, repeat, and repeat. Going back to, I'm just going to go number 5, know your product. That's really important. I know that's very basic, but the more you know, the clearer you can actually articulate your message. For Sequoia, we've got Sequoia's YouTube channel. It has a lot of information on there, a lot of videos that were done in the past as far as training, as far as products, as far as anything. Like Alan talked about earlier, the wellness program. You've got commercial lending. You've got a lot of different things that you can learn, especially nowadays with Google, right? You can put anything in Google in the subject headline and come up with all different types of videos and articles and so forth. So it's really important. And if you don't know much about your product, learn. I think it's important for you to learn and also figure out how your company, for example, in Sequoia's case, right? We have about 500 plus lenders. We've closed a lot of deals. We got success stories and so forth. Harp on the company too. If you're having a difficult time grasping that product, ask questions, give us a call, give Alan a call, give me a call, give an advisor a call to figure out exactly what it is. And also, just we're always available if you have a customer that needs to speak to someone and you don't know it, just give us a call. We'll be able to help. But I think that also puts you in a situation where you understand that you have to know your product, listen on the phone calls. A good thing that a lot of new agents do is listen into the phone call with Alan or myself, and they learn a lot. So again, anything that you can do to know your product is going to help you create or craft your advertising message so that you can actually be more professional and more direct and actually get people to respond to you. And number 6 is, I found this to be so true. Never lie. Just be honest about your product. I know what irks me a lot is calling a company or figuring out that what they were advertising was not true. Over the years, I've seen a lot of lenders, for example, advertise that they can close in 3 days, or they go high as a 100% LTV, and that's not true. And so that would always bother me. So just to get your phone to ring, don't lie. Just be honest. Be honest because honesty creates that trust. And like we talked about earlier, people have to like you, know you, and trust you. That's going to make you a more effective marketer by being honest. Get to, again, know your product, figure out what it is, what kind of problems you're solving. And again, just make that message simple and clear and be honest. That's always the best way, in my opinion. As a side note, also the other thing with advertising is you have legal liability. So the other part is, if you don't tell the truth and someone, either buys your service or procures buys your product rather, procures your services, and you don't come through, you open yourself up to liability, which you don't want to do. So again, the best thing to do is always to be honest and never lie, and figure out how to craft your message in a way where people understand what you're selling or promoting. But again, it's truthful. Be honest about it. That's the biggest thing for me. And next is the last one for me is studying your competition. Study what the competition is doing. For example, when I a couple of years back when we were putting out a lot of marketing pieces on the direct lending side, I would study what other hard money lenders are doing. I would know what my competition is, what they're promoting, what they're advertising, what they're doing. Basically, I would sign up for their newsletters. I would go on their mailing list. I would download their free ebooks. I would do a lot of things to see what exactly they're doing. Because once you find out who your competition is rather, you can see what they're promoting and kind of put together like a list of things that you can do that either is better, or you could put your own spin on it to make your offers stand out a bit more. As far as like Alan was mentioning, loan brokers and commercial lending and all that, my buzzwords when I look at advertising for Sequoia is like loan brokers, commercial brokers, that kind of thing. You may find some websites that advertise that. You may be able to see somewhat the wording they're using. I think, as Alan mentioned, this is not a business that's really out there. It's kind of still closed door. But I think if you look at certain buzzwords like business loan brokering or commercial loans, you're able to see what some of the direct lenders are advertising, and also take a look at Sequoia's as far as the Facebook and as far as the groups, and to see exactly what we're promoting, because that gives you a good idea as to what you can say and what you shouldn't say. But again, study your competition to see exactly what they're doing, know who they are, and actually put your own spin on it. Like I said, I used to do that years ago, where I used to actually look at what my competitors are doing and come up with my own actual angle, and also maybe differentiate myself. For example, years ago, we're DC based lenders, and so a lot of lenders weren't doing Southeast DC. We actually found that out because we would call, we would see, people would tell us, and what we did is we actually created a marketing piece around, hey, we advertise, we actually lend in Southeast DC, and that actually helped because a lot of people would give us a call. We got some deals done because of that. So again, that separated from the crowd, and we're able to actually get some deals. So again, just study what the competition is doing, understand what they're promoting, and figure out a different way for you to put your spin on it, so you could actually, again, become an effective marketer. Um, that is it for me. Just my information's on there as far as, if you have any questions regarding the 1 to 4 single family fix and flip, or if you got small balance commercial, going back to what I was saying about knowing your product. If you have any questions on that, and if you guys are looking to promote that part of it, then please give me a call or send me an email. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have regarding those things. At this point, I mentioned earlier that I've come to know this gentleman really well. I really admire the amount of business he brings to us, and I really have watched him, hustle and be a good, excellent ambassador for Sequoia. So I'm going to ask Lou Paradise to jump in, and Lou, tell the group a little bit about what you found as far as what was successes for you in marketing and getting new clients.
Georges, thank you, my brother. And first, I wanted to compliment everybody on the call. There's a lot of people who are out there trying to figure out what to do. Here you all are at 8 o'clock Eastern, or whatever time frame it may be, on a call where you could be doing anything and everything else. So I want to, first of all, thank you, Georges. That was a phenomenal overview, and also the situation. Alan, hey, look, we can't say enough about how incredible it is to be working with somebody who's dedicated to improving people's lives. That's us, that's the clients, that's our contact base, our business partners. So I want to just compliment everybody. Thank you so much. It's an honor to be amongst you. And I'll give you a little bit about what I have found over my lifetime of doing sales or marketing. And it really starts for me. Maya Angelou has a lot of quotes, and the one I like the most is people will forget. She learned in her life that people will forget what you said and people will forget what you did. And as a New York Italian boy, when I was a younger puppy, I'm very happy that that's true, that they forgot what I did, forgot what I said, but they will never, ever forget how you made them feel. So one of the things to me I found is a great technique to find the way to communicate. And thank you is like the most powerful thing that we can have. Complimenting in a very sincere way is a very good door opener. We go back to what Alan said. We do not have to go out looking for clients. We want to look at business partners, people who have a book of business. So whether it's a CPA or a loan officer or real estate broker, real estate agent, whether it is an insurance broker, we know two things that are probably most important. My technique is this. First of all, the one thing that one of the things that Georges had said was you got to make it personal. I personally will only do business with people I know, like, trust, and respect. And it's a true thing. People like to do business with who they like, know, and trust. So to get to know somebody, take the time. This is probably the easiest thing to do. Go on Facebook, because most people have a Facebook page or a LinkedIn page. Take a look and see who they are, what they like, what their favorite things to do. Find something honest you can compliment them before you call them. And telephone calls to me, or meeting people, which we'll go into a little bit here as well, and where to do that. Most essential thing. You find out somebody who does something with special kids needs. They do something. I'm a Marine Corps combat veteran. I am tuned right in to anybody who's a veteran. If you're a veteran, let people know that. If you have something where you've done any kind of first responder work at all in your life, let them know that. Tell them this is why we bring solutions, and we are problem solvers and solution finders. We are not selling anything. We are absolutely here to help your business. And the most essential thing is when you find out what people really love to do, or they love to serve, and serving is really a very admirable thing. Before you get on the phone, find that out. First thing you want to do when you talk to them is say, hey, I just, first of all, before anything else, I want to tell you how much I respect and appreciate the fact of what you do for special needs kids, or that you're doing it, or you're a baseball coach, or you're doing something for elders, or you're volunteering for food drives, whatever it may be. And you'll be surprised, thanking them, complimenting them. You got to be sincere about it, obviously, but just think about how you feel. When people hear that from you, they're more receptive. Everybody's got a little selling defense, that okay, if you're talking to me, you want to sell me something. And it's often very true. And it's not that sales don't take place within our industry, but it is really important to make that connection so you get to know each other. There's a really cool saying: make strangers into friends and make friends into family. And once you get to the point where they know you well enough to know that and feel that, anything else that you bring, they're going to be receptive to who and what you are and what you do. Philanthropic activities, this is a hot button for most people. So the compliment right off the bat, getting to know them, look them up on Facebook, take a look at their posts, find out what really makes them tick, in a sense of being able to have an insight, so you can break down that barrier that they don't know you, and they'll want to know you because you're going to be somebody right then and there that they're going to want to like. And if it's true, as George has said, liking somebody is doing business, because guess what? This and just what Alan said, we could do a lot of testing of stuff, which is absolutely can be valuable in terms of marketing pieces, posts, advertising. But keep in mind, this is a relationship business. That means that we want to get as close to that person and let them know, as George has said, that you are not only a real person, but you are truly there to help them. Most of the people that I'm getting in referrals are from loan officers, and I'm talking about vice presidents of commercial lending in banks, especially community banks, that cannot, because of their guidelines, do any commercial loans. This has become a really good part of the networking side. And once they know that you care enough about their depositor, keep in mind, they want to keep their depositors happy. We know the majority of people for many, many decades, when they wanted a loan of any kind, they went to the bank. Well, banks most of them do not do commercial lending. When you come to the point where you have established a relationship and you've established a friendship, they know you're not only just a problem solver, but you're going to help that depositor stay happy, because there's nothing worse than somebody going into a bank where they have deposited money and it's been there a long time, for the bank to have to say, I'm sorry, I can't help you with a loan. So now they've got this incredible, so you're an extended partner. Alan's process, the partner, we're partners with the lending officer. There is the same thing that happens with CPAs, same thing with real estate, same thing with insurance brokers. One of the things I also do is look up, what are the challenges for real estate agents right now? What are the challenges for loan officers? What are the challenges for CPAs? What are the challenges for insurance agents? Once you know the kind of challenges they have, that's the opportunity for problem solving, because on one end, you may not be able to solve the challenge that they have because most of them are the one big challenge they all have. They have clients they want to help, but they cannot provide them commercial loans. And all of those pieces start coming together with building rapport from the beginning of the conversation, building the relationship by taking the time to find out who and what they are. And then when you get to the point where you're now with your customer from the bank or from every one of them have business people that they know, CPAs especially, insurance brokers, insurance agents, real estate brokers. They know somebody who's a commercial person, who's somebody who's a business person, who they can help. Once you can get to the point where you can find out what kind of issues they have as part of the problem solving mission, solution finding mission that is outstanding earmark of what Sequoia stands for. When we have the client, one of the questions I always ask the person who's now the borrower in this, or potential borrower in this, is what inspired you to start your business? When you get to know them, you get to know their family, saying, you know, it wasn't me that started the business. It's actually my dad or my grandfather. We've been doing this kind of stuff. My brother, my sister, my mom, my grandma. And when you get to that point, you find out two things. Once people spend more time with you, not by selling them, but by inspiring and encouraging and motivating them, that you're interested in them. Is that there's an old adage that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Well, when you take the time to ask that question, what inspired you for this, for doing this, from a point of what inspired you to start your business? Some people, I got some street friends that say, I just need the money, man. That's all I'm doing. I'm flipping these houses because I need the money. But most of the time, there's something behind why people do what they do. Once you connect on that, when it's relative to you, and asking questions is probably more than anything else, the vital part of the best tool you have to find out more about what they need. You know, if time and money wasn't an object to you, what would your 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan look like? If somebody's an older person in business, and if you would ask them it may sound silly, if you were talking to your younger self, what would you advise them coming through this process to be where you are at this point in time? Because you'll find out how they feel. And when we find out how they feel, and they know that we care about that, they're going to be very receptive to this phenomenal, outstanding offering of all these products and services that we have. Two things that I have found really important, and Bobby Lee says this constantly: go and show up at chambers of commerce, become a member of the local chamber or a county chamber or a state chamber. Go to networking events. There are different ones that go on. Most of the time, the luncheon events at chambers of commerce are usually employees. The networking business events are the evening events, which is the ones I found to be important because that's where the decision makers are, all business people, all business owners. So networking events, industry events, find out where there's a local industry event. There may be a real estate event. There may be something that's going on, especially when it comes down to conventions, a good deal of real estate conventions, insurance conventions. There's all those things you can look up. There's associations for CPAs and real estate agents and insurance agents. Look all those folks up because you will find, and when you go to them, the one question you can tell them right off the bat is, look, I'm here to let you know that I'm a commercial lender. We have a very unique platform. What can I currently help you or your clients with in solutions for commercial lending? So simple questions. And I want to help you. And I know that you've done this stuff with the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts. I know you're a coach. I know you care about kids. You care about elders. You volunteer for the local food bank or whatever it may be. And you get to know them. They get to know you. Because again, most essential thing, and this is what Alan says all the time. That's why He may not do the advertising. He finds that, pick up the phone, get to know them. They get to know you. It's not to suggest for a moment that marketing materials are not going to be important somewhere along the line, but the real thing you want to establish, because it is a relationship business, is a relationship. You'll be surprised that when you first start all this, you'll have the initial thing of having to go out and find your partners, not your clients, but your partners. And then you will find that not only they will continue to refer to you to people that need your help, and they know that you care enough to believe in what you've done because you've shown them how much you care about them. One of the things that's probably really important is to have a positive mindset right out of the gate, first thing during the day. Read something positive, find inspirational quotes, read the Bible. That's my favorite book in the world to read. And one of my dearest friends in South Carolina, when I was in the Marine Corps, he said, "Lou, I know you read the Bible, but do you know what it actually what that whole thing really means beside the book, of course?" I said, "Well, Carl, you're going to tell me." He said, "Well, Bible stands for basic instructions before leaving Earth." So everything that is inspiring you, encouraging you to start with a positive mindset, get goals set before you. A goal, here's how I do goals. Take an annual amount of money you want to make, break it down to what you got to do in every month, what you got to do every week, what you got to do every day, every hour. And what is the number? What is that number in that you have to do every single hour in order to make that goal at the end of that particular year? IPA. Now, a lot of people think the IPA will stand for some kind of beer. Now, I'm not a beer drinker, but I know a bunch of folks who love IPAs. Well, that's not what this is. IPA is income producing activities. Whatever income producing activities generate that money per hour, per day, per week, per month, per year, that's where you're going to be. How many calls do I have to make? How many people do I have to see? How many things are going to happen? Put your vision board together. What do I really want to accomplish? What's the burning desire or your dream board? Your vision is going to tell you what to do and your mission, and your dream board is going to say, this is why I'm doing this. Your why has to be bigger than not picking up the phone. You don't want to have phone panic. Well, I don't know what to say. All you got to do, you don't have to know what to say at all. You can say two things. I saw that you are involved as a volunteer fireman. God bless you for that. I see that you're a veteran. God bless you for that. I want to let you know that I'm your local commercial lending authority, and I'm here to help you. How can I help you with commercial lending solutions that you need right now? Ultimately, you'll find that more things occur by being a problem solver, just like George has said, than selling something. Because if you're solving problems and people know, again, going back to people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, you're showing them right off the bat. That for me is pretty much what I do. And we still are looking for more and more success, but we are finding these deepened relationships that will help us ultimately, that we will never have to pick up the phone and cold call anybody. But in the beginning stages, find people who know who those real estate agents are or CPAs. Ask your friends. Somebody else has a CPA. They probably have an insurance agent. They more than likely know somebody who's in real estate. Call the people you know and say, hey, by the way, would you introduce me to that person so I can talk to them about my commercial lending platform? When you engage your friends and your neighbors and whatever, again, why is that important? Because people want to do business with people they know, like, trust. And the last one is respect. And so that's what I've got for you. And I'm delighted that Georgia started this off, that whole wash, rinse, and repeat. Know your product, know your person, get to know who they are before you call them, compliment them, and say thank you, thank you, thank you. And that's about it for me.
Right, great. Thank you so much, Lou, for your in-depth share with all of us, heart to heart. So I can definitely see the sincerity that you share with us. Thank you so much, Lou. And again, you know, I believe that each one of us have our own ways to market or to things that works for me might not works for you. Things that work for you might not work for Lou. So again, the suggestion is just like what George said is to try it out the one that works for you. That's the minimum the at least that you can do. The worst you can do is that you can keep coming to training like this, keep coming to like this, but you never actually take any actions. So action is the most important thing, I believe. And our industry is very, very unique. Seriously, if you go out there today, if telling people that hey, I'm a real estate agent, people will not get excited to listen to you. Why? It's just because there's so many real estate agents out there. There are 1.3 million real estate agents in the country, and the numbers just keep adding more and more and more. If you're telling people that, hey, I'm a CPA today, or I'm a loan officer, whatever that might be, people would not get excited. But when you tell people that you are a commercial loan consultant, you are in a commercial lending space, people were curious about what you have to say because, again, as I mentioned many times, this industry is a very closed door industry. People outside of it do not know what we are doing out here. And they don't even know that hey, you don't even need to have an income to purchase a property. Seriously, you don't need to have an income. Why? Because the property is self-generating income. All you have to do is just to have the deposit, right? You don't even have to have credit score. You could be just lend in this country from another country, lend into the United States, and you decided to purchase an investment property. There's money out there waiting for you. There's money out there for you to purchase all kind of commercial, doing all kind of business. So how do you do it? Honestly, I believe that trainings like this or talks like this, it just ignite your imagination. What you can do out there. Find something that you can do, find something that fits you, and keep doing it. Now, my other advice or suggestion is that join any um, BLN network. Is it BLN? What is it called? BLN? BNL?
BNI, BNI.
BNI
Yeah.
network. Yep, absolutely. Join any BNI network. They are huge. If you don't know what they are, just do a Google search. There's many, many, many chapters of BNI network. And I'm sure around you, there's already so many different type of BNI network. Join at least one of them. Once you join that network, and again, every chapter that you go to, there are always a real estate agent, loan officers, all kind of people. But every chapter that you go to, you will never find anybody that is commercial lending or commercial broker like yourself. You might see some bank in there, but the bank can only do what they do. But they cannot do what we do. We have a platform of service, product, and services on our platform that can allow, that can benefit businesses. So again, whatever you want to do, it's totally up to you. We just give you some idea, share with you what works and what does not work. But the most important thing is for you to go out there to explore the world. Okay. So again, I think that's all we have for tonight. We have about 10 more minutes. So let's open up the floor to see what questions that you have, what comment you have. What would you like to talk about? We've got 10 more minutes to go. Anyone? Feel free.
Hi,
Don't be
Alan.
shy.
This is Eva Pryor.
Hey, Eva, good to hear from you again.
Hey, good to see your face.
Welcome
Um,
back.
Thank you. A question.
Yep.
What would be your best approach on the wellness program?
Very
I'm
good.
ready to go.
Very good. How to approach the wellness program. And again, please, ladies and gentlemen, understand what that is. The wellness program, it is under ACA, Affordable Care Act. It is signed into law in 2013. It's going to stay here forever unless they changed it. I doubt that they will. So basically, this program provide benefits, no out-of-pocket cost. Why do I say that? Because it's not free. Somebody has to pay for it. But no out-of-pocket cost for employer, no out-of-pocket cost for employee. Who is paying for it? The government is paying for it. How does the government pay for it? The government utilize the FICA tax, portion of the FICA tax to pay for it. Okay? So again, now when you understand what this thing is, you're not selling this program. There's nothing to sell. The businesses, they're already paying for it. Why? Because they're already paying the FICA tax. You think about this, right? They're already paying the FICA tax. All we are here to do is to help them to enroll into the program that they already pay for, that they already qualify for. So now the first thing that we need to do is to understand about this program. If you don't, please go to our YouTube channel, watch the video, understand what this thing is all about. Okay? Now, who are the who are your target audience? A lot of people will say, wow, there's a company that out there have 1,000 people, 10,000 people, 10,000 employees. I'll be rich if I sign in that company. Forget about it. Okay? It will be very difficult for you to get to the right person if you're talking to a corporation that has 1,000 employees. What we found out is the easiest company that will willing to sign up is somewhere between 10 people to 50 people, somewhere around there. Why? Is because this kind of organization, you can get to the owner very easily. They can make decision very easily. They don't have to go through layer upon layer upon layer of management to make decisions. And they can see the saving immediately. Because when you tell them that, hey, each employee that enroll into your program, they can save up to $630 per employee per year on their payroll matching tax. So which means that let's say they have 10 employees, immediately they already know I'm saving $6,300. Might not be much, but it's still a lot of money. We can also save their workers' comp up to 30%. That's another savings. So those people can see saving immediately. So now with all those in mind, who should we target? 10 to 50 people. Okay? 10 to 50 people. Now, same idea. Here in commercial lending, I mentioned it to you already. I don't look for the client himself. Who do I look for? I look for where the resources is. Who knows all these clients? In commercial lending, real estate agent, loan officers, insurance agents, CPAs, doctors, lawyers, they all have their own book of business. So that is why I talk to these people. They refer me clients. Now, when you talk about a wellness program, who knows them? Who knows just not one, but knows many, 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 many of them? Chamber of Commerce, business associations. So if I were you, I look for local chamber of commerce. I look for local business associations. I will contact them. I will partner up with them. I will let them know that, hey, there's a program out here that will allow you to provide no out of pocket cost to your members. Now, think about this. What does the Chamber of Commerce really want to do? They want membership. They want people to join their Chamber of Commerce. Am I right? Same as business associations. Now, when a restaurant pay, I don't know, $100, $200, $1,000 a year to join that Chamber of Commerce, they want something back. Now, if this Chamber of Commerce saying that, hey, if you join me, I can provide you this free benefit on no out of pocket cost benefit to your employees, do you think that they're going to sign up? Absolutely, they're going to sign up. No doubt about this. So that is what we are doing as a company. Again, do I go out there to just talk to business itself? Yeah, if I know the owner, I would talk to them. I call them up direct. I sign up a mechanic shop. I know the owner. I call him up. I say, Tom, let's do this. No problem. He will sign up. But I don't know many Toms. I know a lot of people work for a company, but I don't know many owners that owns a company. So now where do I go? I go with Chamber of Commerce. So that is what I do. Hopefully that answers your questions.
Yes, it does. And I also enjoy actually just going out in the field and just talking to people. That's how I've always marketed. So that's just my thing, my personality.
That's fantastic. If you like that, go ahead and do it. But so that's why something works for you might not work for me, right? So yeah, if you can do that, hey, I see people can actually walk down the street. They can just talk to anybody. I see people that go into a restaurant and having a meal and then all of a sudden just saying, hey, who's your boss? Who's your manager? Can I talk to him? Can I do this? I mean, again, a lot of people are very natural. So if you're natural with something like this, hey,
Yeah.
by all means.
Thank you
Okay.
very much.
Anyone else? We got 3 more minutes. Set a goal. Now it's already middle of November. What are you going to do from November until the end of 2024? I think it's only 45 more days to go. So,
Alan, real
yes,
quick,
Eva.
I can contact churches as well, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Anybody that has a W-2 employees.
Okay.
It could be
Thank you.
nonprofit organization, could be churches, could be anything.
Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay. All right. I see Mr. Moore. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Unmute yourself.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I want to thank everyone who's spoken thus far. Very valuable information. Very, very valuable. I find it very interesting and very useful. I do have a potential client who's looking to start up a business, and he's been in business with his own liquor brand. Okay, what approach should I take with him? He's looking to get a loan to grow his business.
Now, is that to grow his business or is to start up his business?
Well, I think he's going to need startup because he's already been in business for some years, but he told me he want to get some startup capital because he's looking to manufacture his own liquor now.
Okay, so when you're talking about startup, that it's a very tricky word. Why is because nobody likes startup. Why? Because you have not yet demonstrate your brand actually works or your business model actually can generate income. Okay. Now, however, that does not mean that we cannot get him some working capital. Um, if the gentleman is in the industry for a period of time, for a long time, okay, I don't know how many years, 5 years, 10 years, whatever that might be, the experience definitely count. Okay, so besides of the experience, we also need to look at his business plan. You cannot just come up with an idea. You need to have a business plan. You need to have something called pro forma. You need to show us what is your projection? How do you make money? So on and so forth, right? So you also need to show us that they have the liquidity, meaning that they have money, they have liquid money to support the business. Okay, so the experience is very important, and if you checked out, then they might give and also look at the pro forma, so on and so forth. Then the lender will start to evaluate the projects to determine how much money this particular client can qualify for. Now, don't expect too much. A lot of people come in here saying, okay, I need $1 million to start my business. Very unlikely people will give you $1 million to start a new business. Probably start off with 10, 20, 30, $50,000. That is what I'm seeing. And once you get the money, you start the business, you start to generate income, you start to grow, and then lender will give you more and more and more money. So getting a working capital, this is always what I tell clients to do, is that if you do not need money, that is the time that you're supposed to get a loan. Because when you don't need money, means that you have cash flow, you're doing well. But at that time, everybody want to give you money, and that's the best time for you to establish a relationship with the bank. Once you do that, now you can take a small loan, 10,000, 20,000. You use it, you pay them back, and now you get another one. You use it, you pay them back, and now you can get more and more and more and more like this. Okay, so that is what I say. I mean, startup definitely. Experience is important. Liquidity is important. If they have collateral, that will be important also, right? So again, any lenders looking for strong candidates to just make sure that their money can be paid back.
Great, great. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Awesome.
All right, guys, we are already at the top of hour. Thank you so much for attending our Wednesday night session. And again, if you missed it, we record all of our training. We put onto our Facebook and YouTube page. Please connect to us on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram so that you can get the latest news. All right. So without further ado, I see everybody next Wednesday night. So good
Thanks,
night,
Lou.
everyone.
Thanks, Frank.
Great
Thanks, Lou and
evening,
Frank. Awesome job.
everybody.
Take care. Goodbye.
Thank you, Alan.